And I know said I was gonna try to keep it to the four, make it even. Whatever. We're just gonna keep doing a couple of them because, actually, even as I say this, let's set the alarm 5:55. So, and the heads-up display. So while I'm fiddling with this, think about that. So 5:55. So 6:25. Let's do 6:24. So 28 minutes from now, that's good. Plus, we've already got like a minute. All right. Anyways, um, but basically, if you'll notice, my heads-up display is uh, see-through now. So the opacity of it has been adjusted. Now, if I change my tool, then it comes back to the front. But you know, for the longest time, I've been frustrated with not being able to see on the map. Now, look, I can see the map pretty well. I mean, I'd almost want to change it to even more intense opacity, but this is in your settings. This is Bedrock on PlayStation, but I imagine it's the same for all Bedrock, like console versus computer. Oh, sorry, not to cough like right into the microphone, but I just realized, oh, I didn't get water, and then like, oh, just kidding, I do have water right here. So, anyways, because it is like when you talk a lot like this and you're trying to explain these things, you need to stay hydrated. Same with if you're public speaking or you're doing other kind of educational things or just whatever. Stay hydrated. So, but anyways, this reminded me this setting. I'm so excited because now it's like, and then yeah, like I said, it can come back, then it goes away. Especially if you like run. I don't know. Maybe I'm just imagining that, but then oh, and also square and triangle, your crafting and inventory go to the same place. So that's kind of like a funny because so see crafting square and triangle inventory. So crafting square. The whole point of having that on the screen over there in the first place goes to the same place. You could have just used one. You just put in like X or triangle or square or triangle, not X because X is jump. Interestingly enough, X is not listed on there. So you've got crafting inventory, then you've got circle and X that don't have it. Anyways, I digress. It's just now that I've found that out, and that is kind of wait, sorry, I am planning on trying to get more diamond blocks to make the roller coaster more amazing. Oh, actually, wait, no, we're doing a completely different project. The diorama. So that's right. Let's go get some emeralds and we'll go mine. But anyways, this just reminded me of Windows 11, which just went to, and it's like I don't know. So far, I like it, but one of the features is that like it hides your taskbar after a bit, or you can auto hide or force it to hide by hitting the Windows key twice. That's what it is. So you can have it, and then you can just get it back by scroll or moving the mouse to the bottom of the screen. But then when you don't want it, you can force it to go away and then have your full screen back. So I think it's pretty cool. Similar idea to what's going on here. Like now I have this ghost of a something that really doesn't change all that much because I mean I'm in peaceful and I switch to my axe, so then I see it again and then it goes away. So now it's like I don't know, especially when doing the YouTube shorts because then it's like a zoomed in part of my screen, and usually it is when I'm mining or harvesting pumpkins because that's when I have the profound thoughts, or at least what I think. Oh, and actually, I don't even know if I mentioned this on the one that I intended to, but seeing the pumpkins and the melons and realizing that, yes, I definitely have room for error on my part. And even though I don't want to admit it, like that whole inertia thing, an object in motion is going to tend to stay in motion as much as it can unless friction or outside forces are applied to it. So, like, and I know there's a chance that I could have been doing it, but the chance wasn't likely, in my opinion, that I was doing it that frequently. But then when I think about it, like, there's also the factor of how lazy am I feeling that day? Because if I harvest the pumpkin and I don't change out the seed from a pumpkin to a melon seed, then I'm just kicking the can down the road. And again, not problem solving effectively. So now I've just resigned to the fact that if I see a pumpkin or in the melon area, or vice versa, because I don't like. I want to say that I've never. I don't want to say never though, but I don't think I've ever put a melon in a pumpkin area. It's usually the other way around because pumpkin seeds are really easy to make, and then I see a seed, and then I don't necessarily think, wait, melon or pumpkin. and I switch between harvesting melon and pumpkin so much that you would think, but yeah, you would think with a lot of things, and that's why assuming is never good. That's why to truly problem solve, you need to be able to connect these dots, connect as many dots as possible up front, and then as you gather information, start to make your decisions, like even partial decisions, like how much time you want to invest in the problem. Um, Anyways, and actually, I don't even know why we were doing that. I'll go ahead and finish this, but we are doing the diorama, and by that I mean for the railway coming into my fortress, it it's gonna have a tribute and a llama lounge, and we're gonna move all those llamas down into the diorama, the llama diorama. There you go. In fact, we can even put we should do more signs too. Um, yeah. Yeah, signs are good. It's one thing that my son was doing. Like he's just putting all these signs up in his worlds and stuff, and it was just really cool. So, but I'm gonna drop off these pumpkins because I just get into that harvesting mode. Let's see. Okay, so actually it's pretty good. Hmm. Okay, drop off the rail. And why not? Let's just put this stuff in here. Because basically I'm just gonna be... Oh wait. And where am I doing it too? So that's the other thing. Because I was gonna at least link this to that, but we'll go ahead and... And then I figured the emerald blocks would actually move up. And I still don't know if I want to move them up and out. At least like here. And then, so they would be like that. Then you'd have glass coming down. And that way you could see in there. Yeah, I think that's about right. And then have like a glass that's like 2 panes tall. And then you're already like a little far away from it. Yeah. And if I wanted, I could even have signs like how you'd have in a zoo or a museum, like, and then just have a whole bunch of glass, just clear panes, but still better than using the cubes of glass or the blocks of glass. Where was that? So, okay. Alright, so that's probably enough to see, at least for ways. And of course, I'm gonna, like, dig out as much of this as I can, and just see. Because I do want to connect the two railways at like one point, but I don't want to have the whole thing, or at least not at first. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Because I mean, I could do the same exact thing on the other side. So in fact, I think I should. And see, even right there, I think changing, being dynamic about the design in this place. We just started making a river. We just made a llama roller coaster. I mean, yeah. And why not too? This game is so like so many uses, so many different ways to like, be creative with things. I mean, I remember a world with one of my cousins that he built a barn with like horses, and it was just really cool. It was like very creative and everything. And I was just like, and this was in survival too. I mean, like my kid was playing creative, but like I don't know, I just take more pride in like actually like doing all of it. Like, I feel like doing it hard work or but at the same time, yeah, I can see the allure of creative, and I've definitely had my fun in it. Oh yeah, that's right. Sometimes. Hmm. I want to say I gotta be careful with maybe I should just gather up all this to begin with because I've lost some emerald blocks. I want to say down low, and we'll tell pretty quick if I have so far. I don't think I have, but I mean if I can't do the same length as the original, that's how I knew before. Is because it should have just been I just moved this over one, so it was here, and I just moved it over one. So, and within that I lost like 4 or 5. Okay, And these. I feel like I'm vacuuming. Just like going forward and backwards. Sorry, I'm not really trying to figure out like the narrative, what I should be saying with this. I mean, as we clear this out, let's see. Yeah, because we have like the awkward silence of doing this. Um, Actually, we've been doing pretty good so far. There isn't a lot that's like, so there's that one block that was already exposed. And this thing. Alright, so now, wait, is that how we're really doing it? So, just trying to imagine how it's going to be all the way down. I mean, yeah, at least that tall. So that means we gotta dig this out, maybe even raise the middle part a little bit as well. Because you don't want to hide the emerald all the way. I don't know. Yeah, because originally I was just gonna have like one little space for that llama as like the original pioneer llama of like getting in the minecart and being bold enough to do that. Just have its own like little paradise. But yeah. In fact, let's go and do that. We'll start there and then we can expand all the way down. So that's the cool part, is like, and I want to keep it that way. Like I want to have a lot more development going on inside the mountains and stuff rather than out on display. It'll still have a fair amount like out there too, but I mean, yeah, there's so much potential here. And it would be nice to be able to go between out there and in here, or even just make the station come through here. I don't know. I don't know. Or just have one big giant like rail station. All right, so that's an easy way to clear out an area in a cave if there's a bunch of gravel. But let's see, and dirt as well. Oh, okay. There we go. So that is how far apart the two railways are. And see, that was the other thing too, is like when I first got the llama in a cart, and yeah, that my entire coal wall I'm trying to do. It's so disoriented. But that's why I was so excited, is because like, oh, the llama, like it made it in the cart, and then I didn't even realize that it was a whole different track. It was this track that goes to my buddy's place where yeah, anyways. And I bailed. This track is isolated, and that's why I still think it is that llama, because there is a little mechanism there that kicks you out. Let's see, yeah. So this is actual, we can go ahead and see. That is risky. I mean, we're here. We might as well make it exact. I see it, and it makes sense that that's where it is. But I don't want to mess it up. So here we go. All right, and see, even there. Okay. Oh, never mind. We have a couple stacks. So actually, now I think we have like a ridiculous amount. Yeah, because we're already, because this is as far as I think it was supposed to go. And I still have 17 and 4. So yeah, like a whole 21 off. Maybe I had 17 off and it's just 4 off. I don't know. But anyways, So for now, we're trying to expand this, make this into like a diorama type thing. A llama diorama. Yeah. Oh, we didn't get a sign. That's what we were gonna do. I'm just getting too excited about all these projects and stuff. And then, and I might rethink the whole coal wall thing because it is kind of macabre, like having that much coal dug out of the earth. Like, I mean, I'm still gonna dig it out of the earth and like the Minecraft earth, but at the same time, I don't know. I have had friends try to do that, like put the coal ore blocks in places to make it look more natural, like a mine area. But that would just involve me putting silk touch on a pickaxe and then every now and then keeping like maybe, I don't know, maybe even a stack or a half stack of ores. Then you could really do it like all intense, like have like diamond ore in here and stuff, and like so people, you gotta watch it because there'd be a lot of people that visit, be like, oh, I'm gonna take this, and so. So anyway, so we are at least gonna do it the whole length of the tunnel, and we should connect the two railways. Oh, see, there we go. I want to say like that was where some stuff was lost in the past, but I don't know for sure. That's okay because we can get new stuff, and that is the thing I was thinking about. Like even if we did like a new season of anything, even though I doubt it, like I still want to just keep playing on this world. I mean, if I have to, I'll just move to another quadrant in the coordinates. So this realm is going to live on for quite a while. But anyways. I decided I'm just going to do a code and game like overview of the playground tutorial for Python that I did. So I do have the two videos up of doing some Code Wars challenges, which is great for beginners. And I do kind of explain how to do the coding, but I move at a quick pace. And I noticed that when I was just watching a bit of them and like, so yeah. So I'm gonna go back do the actual tutorial, just like a walkthrough, and like explain the sections. Do like a half hour if I can, and then because really explaining it goes pretty quick, and then people can like stop and restart the video. And like worst case, you're just out like another half hour. But um, and then maybe I can even like listen to it and put timestamps at like when each section starts because it really is down to 11 numbered sections. And actually, yeah, let's talk about that. We got what, like 12 minutes. While I'm digging this out and just doing this mindless work, let's talk about that. So Python programming. There's about 11 sections I want to say in the tutorial that I made on Coding Game. It's called a playground, and it allows you to do Python code in the browser, so you don't have to set up any development environment on your home computer or wherever. I don't know if it works on a phone. I haven't tried it, and honestly, just don't. I mean, if you're going to try to learn how to program, and that's the thing, is like some people don't have the luxury of um, easier said than done for some people, and I get that, but I am working on that. Like I am, like already I'm providing laptops, like old work laptops to the local Noodles and Company, and they're like, my friends who are in the management over there are repurposing them to their employees. But it's not much. That's why I need to like try to think in scalable ways and try to encourage and inspire other people to do that. And again, the whole statue at CSU campus, like, I saw as far as I did because I stood on the shoulders of giants. Like everything that we do in these projects, these videos, it's so we can help each other get further and all that good stuff. So, anyways, some more warm and fuzzies and all that. Back to Python. So the first part is what is programming, and it really all comes down to it's all zeros and ones, either the presence or the absence of an electrical charge, and that's it. Like those are bits, the very smallest measure of information or data. I say data, it's actually probably data. I think like the plural form of like each piece of data or piece of I don't know. Anyways, I say data in database, and anyways, not important. And So coding is just like reading in English, top down, left to right, and it's basically a script that the computer reads. So if you're thinking about like, like a movie script or a Shakespeare script or for a play or something, like, you're basically explaining what to do. So you can also think about it as like instructions or directions for the computer to do stuff. So, and the main things for the computer to do is take what is recorded. So remember, it's all electric or no, but you can have a whole group of yes or no's or binary values and things like called registers that are close to like the central processing unit or the CPU to hold values. Anyways, whatever it is, it's like basically storing, saving, and moving data. That's like the main thing a computer does. And through that, we can do just about everything, create entire universes, or everything in this Minecraft game is all programmed and, in fact, in Java. And I don't know, like, yeah, there's the Java version, but I'd be interested to see what programming language, if it's just Java for Bedrock as well. And I'm sure that's a Google search away. I mean, maybe someone will say it in the comments, but for now, let's keep focused on the Python. So, in fact, that's the playlist. It's a Let's Learn Python, subject to change. But, anyways, so then the first section says, what is coding? And then why you need to be exact and precise, because computers do exactly what you tell them to do, nothing more, nothing less. Now, we're doing better about kind of defensive programming in a lot of our applications, like to where we predict like something that a user might do for user error. And through no fault of their own, like everybody's human, and we're all, especially learning new technologies every day. Like it's tough, we get it. But as programmers and software developers, people need to keep that in mind as they're developing these things, and these systems too, and how they integrate with other software and systems. But you need to keep in mind the human element. Like you need to make it almost foolproof, and not to be offensive, but to how anyone acting as foolish as they want, or as tired, or whatever the case may be. Are they going to mess anything up? And especially if they're going to mess anything up in a very big way. Like there's also the severity of the bug or the severity of the flaw, because at that point it's more of it's a feature, not a bug. Let's see. Oh, we could just there. That way we can get the. Although that still doesn't matter because now we got copper. We've already excavated quite a bit from here. But yeah, so basically all of coding is storing data into variables, using those variables to do things, and then store or save the data somewhere. That's about it. And then you can continue to build on that to where then you make like objects. And all objects are complex variables with multiple pieces of data within one spot. So, and then you get into like, okay, so that's object-oriented programming versus just, I think it's like procedural or scripted languages, which is more like Bash. I say that, and that's the Linux PowerShell. And you will want to watch a video on like just navigating through Linux or Windows command prompt. Either way that you're comfortable, you'll need to be able to run code, and that's why I like Coding Game because the tutorial is all in the browser. You don't have to worry about doing that. But if you were to do it on your machine, I'll try to show a couple of ways to do it. So I learned in Linux, and then more recently Windows. So, anyways, you got variables, and you have uh, variables, and then there's a whole section on that. The first program people usually learn is Hello World, which just outputs font to the screen or text to the screen, and usually it's just well, with Python it's print, open parenthesis, open quote, double quote, hello world, exclamation point, double quote, close parenthesis, and that's it. And with Java, it's even different. It's like a capital S system dot out dot print line, open parenthesis, open double quotation mark, hello world, exclamation point, close double quotation mark, close parenthesis, semicolon. And so, and just even that example of like the difference of the syntax, which is kind of like the grammar for Java and the grammar for Python, and they are different. And it's just those subtle little differences. Like the semicolon is used to show the end of a line or to tell the computer that, hey, that's the end of the line, get ready for some new code or some different type of code for the next line. Whereas with Python, everything that's in the same level of indentation is considered the same code block. So whether it's a piece of conditional logic or loop logic, or really that's about it. Um, they'll be contained, or declaring an object, using an object, stuff like that. Anyways, so as far as learning your basics about Python, at least to get to the point where you can do the Code Wars challenges that I already started showing, um, you just need to know how to store variables, how to use variables, and how to update variables or create variables, stuff like that. Also, so right here, and I'm gonna keep leaving it and kicking the can down the road because it is a nice tribute to like I can be forgetful, and I can, I could be wrong about a guess at something. Because I said along the way, I was like, ooh, what if Mojang's messing with me? Or what if my buddy's messing with me? But no, it was probably me messing with me. And that's fine. But as long as we acknowledge that that's capable of being the case. So, anyways, back to Python coding. And once you get that down, then it really is just like thinking about like algorithms. Like, how would I solve a problem? I'm trying to remember what the ones we even did were. I know a lot of popular easy problems are like, count the number of capitalized letters in a paragraph and return the number, or make all letters in a sentence uppercase, stuff like that. And all right, so anyways, back to the components of programming. There's also control flow. I kind of mentioned that earlier. That's the if else, or really it's if, elif, else are the three different types you can have in an if else kind of chain. And you always start with just a regular if, and then you do an elif if you want like a second condition. But if it's just if or else, like a binary kind of situation, like either or, then you could do if and then else. And that you could do for anything. That's why I like doing the scratch videos. I'm going to do some of that too. Ooh, I should do that tonight. But anyways, because they do that. They do comparators and variables. So like if something easy to think of is like if touching the edge of the screen, rotate direction and change velocity or something like that is basically the gist of it. Or like, or if, because I was watching, like, both me and my son have created the bounce game where you bounce a ball. It's kind of like, they called it Brick Destroyer back when I downloaded it back in like the Windows 98 and XP days. But no, it's like where you move the paddle along the bottom of the screen. It's a tutorial on Scratch. And then you just keep the ball above this line. And if it touches this line, if it misses the paddle, then, you lose. And then it freezes the game or stops the game. But anyways, my point being is even doing some Scratch coding, again, in the browser, online, no worries about setting up your own environment. It's just amazing. So, anyways, so that control flow, if else statements, and then you have loop logic. So that's when you want to do something a certain amount of times or until a condition is met, and then you want to move on to the next piece of your code. And basically all your code is it's telling a story or a script, like I said, Shakespeare or whatever, or a movie, or, and it's saying, I want to do this. And especially if it's something like this game, it's like, okay, I want the story to be just a continuous loop until the user exits the game. I want to continue doing this, like letting, hit him or her or they harvest as long as they want, or do whatever as long as they want. So, and as I'm doing this, like, even for Minecraft, oh, there we go. Every time I break one of these pumpkins, it starts a loop for that unit to produce a new pumpkin. Now, it depends on the different, and it's a random time variable. Sorry, this last minute here, and then that starts a little loop or a little subroutine. So, anyways, and then you get into like Borderlands 2, where they do claptrap.exe, which is awesome. But, anyways, that's my time on this one. I might do more, I might not, but if I don't, I'll see you in the next one. Either way. All right, have a good night. See ya.